gentleman that I'm about to bring to the stage, Mr. Gabriel Martinez. He is a serial entrepreneur. He is a founder and the CEO of Technon Global Elite, which is a phenomenal networking group. He is a leader, a speaker, a mentor. He is somebody that I look up to, somebody that I call a brother. So many of you out here look up to this same man and call him a brother. He is somebody who's not only pouring into himself, but being able to take his knowledge and his skills and pour into other communities and other people that he's looking to be able to rise up and turn, their message into their messages and be able to turn their purposes into profit and helping people extract that knowledge and those resources that they have in themselves out of them so that way they can be able to give and serve the community just as he does. This is my brother, Mr. Gabriel Martinez. Let's clap it up for him. Yes, sir.
Thank you, my guy. Thank you, guys. Let's give it up for my good friend, John Trone, once more. Did an awesome job. All right. Everybody feeling good tonight? All right. So, how many are ready to invest in themselves? You're ready to put yourself as the number one priority. Okay, I'm going to hold you to it. You guys are ready to take serious what it means to really become and discover the greatest version of yourselves. Everything about Purpose to Profit, everything about this whole network and community, this whole company named Technon, it means a son who serves in his father's kingdom. And everything about a Technon is about learning the ways of his father, the family business, the kingdom, to be able to receive the inheritance, to take the company to the next level, twice as far as the father ever did. And so we have to make ourselves the number one investment. And we have to take it seriously how much we actually are focusing right here, because we get so used to focusing everywhere else, and not just for the sake of excuses or, there's limited resources or I didn't get the opportunity or I didn't have a mentor, but we've done it even out of the sincerity of our heart to help everybody else reach theirs, and we've put ourselves aside on the back burner. We forgot about ourselves when it comes to our development, our self-care, our self-growth, and our advancement of our mindset and our network and our circles. So what tonight is all about is how to network your way to millions, how to be able to take what you are truly gifted at and attract the right audience, the right clientele, the right opportunity, turn, how my brother John said, turn your mess into a message and transform whatever your journey is into value for that right audience. You guys know what I'm talking about? Because what gives you authority to tell somebody else how to win? That you've actually overcome it. That you've been through the same process and the same journey and you did not quit, give up, you didn't become discouraged. Well, you're probably going to get discouraged sometime along the way. It's just going to happen. But you did not quit. You did not walk away. You did not go and just do something else. Because how many know a lot of times as an entrepreneur, it's easy to jump at every appetizing opportunity because we may need the money. It may be looking good at the moment. We may have something in front of us and we really need a change or a transformation. We're looking for something, but we're not exactly sure what we're really looking for. You have to start with what is it that you're truly passionate about? What are you gifted in? What are you called to? What are you created for? What is your purpose, and how can you attract and create multiple streams of income? So the greatest opportunities are not out there floating around somewhere waiting for somebody to grab a hold of them. They're in you. The greatest opportunities are not just falling out of the sky, they are flowing out of the creative. Everybody was born with a creative in them. Why? Because that's who you were created by, was a creative. And so if you were created in his image as a creative, then what is your purpose? It's to live in your creative space. It's to live in the space where you're constantly providing value, opportunity, a platform for other people to succeed and to win. So how do we turn our purpose into profit? You have to find that emotional connection and that emotional bond to whatever it is that you are passionate about and why you want to help somebody else get there. Why you want to help somebody else of a similar situation break free from it, break through in it so that they can achieve and become and discover the greatest version of themselves. For all of you guys that are watching online as well, please do put your information in the chat. I forgot to mention this. Yeah, I'm so sorry. But here's the other thing, is that we have become so used to, a lot of times, even as an entrepreneur, self-development. We've read books, we've watched shows, we've connected to networks, we've taken courses, we've invested in courses over and over again. But how many have made some investments before in some courses and it just didn't work the way you expected it to? Or somebody, a coach or somebody, now I'm not dissing coaches because I'm a coach myself, but they sold you on all of these results. We're going to get you this number you're going to be making 6 figures in 6 months. And there's all of these sales talks and pitches about the next course that is coming up. But you don't go to school to find your purpose. You find your purpose by what you loved growing up, what you were passionate about growing up, so that you can further your education and make the right investment to feed that thing that you're going to specialize in. Not so that I can just go and say, I'm investing in myself and I'm growing and I'm going to become successful because I paid for the course and I took all the classes and I answered all the questions. The truth is that there was something that you were so perfect for. It was a perfect fit for you. And when you start investing and feeding in that area, there's things that just start flowing to you and you start attracting the opportunity, the right relationships, the investors, the people that will support you. Has anybody ever had the thought before? Now, I'm going to try to do a little bit more engaging and some interaction. I'm going to have to ask some questions to you guys, so I'm going to need a little bit of feedback. Feel free to shout out some answers. Feel free to, shout back, do whatever you need to do, but just, let's kind of connect a little bit more with a little bit of interaction and engagement. Okay, so here's the thing, is that when it comes to investing in ourselves, are we investing so that we can make more money? Anybody ever thought about that before? Are we investing so that we can become successful because we want a house? We want cars. We want our time back. But let me ask you a question too. If you guys could say, this is my goal for next year, 1 year from now, what would that be? Throw me out some answers. Throw me out some options. What would be a goal from 1 year from today? What would you say if you wake up in the morning what that goal would be? 300,000 income. Go global. $500,000. Anybody else?
Quit my JOB.
Amen. More employees? Okay. How many would like to scale their business? How many would like time freedom? You would like to be able to do what you want, whenever you want, wherever you want, and spend as much as you want. You want to have the freedom and the options. So say if you wake up in 6 months and that goal is a reality, that amount of money is a reality, what would that do for you? How would you feel about that? Relief, successful, free, accomplished. Anybody else? If you wake up in 6 months, in 1 year, feeling that you have actually achieved what you set out to do, how would you see yourself? Successful. Invincible? Would anybody see themselves as a leader qualified to help somebody else? Would anybody see themselves as, I have a right to be here and to talk about it? You got to find the emotional connection to whatever the goal is. And forget all of the other ideas that you may find from somewhere else. There can add some value to those. They can add some ideas. They can add something to what our goals may be. But what did God give you? What's got your name on it? What was it that you thought about as a kid growing up that maybe as you got a little older and you started talking about it that somebody made fun of you? Somebody laughed at you, somebody teased you, somebody mocked you, somebody said something that made you not want to talk about it anymore. And you didn't feel comfortable talking about your dreams because truth is that they were a little too big that they scared you. or you didn't talk about it because it was far beyond what our checkbook looked like. It was far beyond what our previous accomplishments looked like. And so we've pushed down these dreams and these goals, these visions to want to become and discover and achieve and to accomplish and to accelerate and to ascend to all these levels and accomplishments and achievement we've desired to, but we haven't talked about it because we haven't really felt a safe place to talk about it, because the last time that we shared it, we kind of felt like Joseph, and our friends, our brothers, people that we called family, threw us in a pit, laughed at us, sold us out. Or it may have been sometimes you had talked about something and they didn't understand your language. They didn't know how to support your dreams. And so they told you, just play it safe. Just go to school, get a job, play it safe, retire after 40 years. Everybody heard the 40-40-40 rule? Work 40 hours for 40 years to retire on 40% of your income. I didn't sign up for that. Not interested. I'll work 40 hours a week on what I want to do, but at the end of the day, everybody said before too, work on your 9 to 5, but don't just work on your 9 to 5 without going home and actually working on your 6 to midnight or whatever whatever it was. Now, I believe, and you got to put in hard work, you got to put in diligence. But the thing is that you don't work so hard to try and take that job or take that one stream of income and hope to save up enough to eventually buy what you truly want. You've got to find what you are really gifted for. Because when you know what you are really purposed and gifted for, what is your lane, your element, your niche, your specialty, what sets you apart, then you're not in competition with anybody anymore. You're not trying to prove yourself. You're not trying to defend yourself. You don't owe anybody an explanation. You owe it to yourself, and you owe it to your Father, your heavenly creator, whoever it is that you're. Well, I'm just going to say it. I don't want to talk about all that other kind of stuff. We in church. Lord God created us. Anyways, so the goal is that whatever I was called or created to do, how can I grow and develop that and turn that into multiple streams of income? First of all, when I have found out what it is that I absolutely love to do, and I found the emotional connection to that, why I want to help somebody else achieve that, because I've experienced the freedom, I've experienced the liberty and the empowerment and the confidence. I've experienced something out of my comfort zone that I want to help everybody else accomplish this who is dealing with the exact same thing. When you find those connections, now you know how to invest the right kind of content or education to sharpen it, to grow, and to develop it. Because there's 3 sets of things that you need. And many of you have probably heard this before. I think even John had mentioned it a little bit here too. But there's 3 sets that you need. You need mindset. First of all, we got to think it. We got to see it. We got to believe it. We got to talk like it. We got to position ourselves for it. And then you need skill set. You need a skill set that you can sharpen and grow and develop in and become better at. You have to constantly be investing in sharpening these skill sets, and then you need a tool set. If nobody knows how awesome you are at something, it doesn't matter how awesome you are if they can't find you. If they don't know who you are, where to find you at, and they don't know what it's going to do for them, you can be awesome at it all day long, and you can know that there's more in you, and you can know that you're meant for wealth, you can know that you're meant for multiple streams of income, and you can desire for the next 10, 15, 20 years of all the stuff that you want to accomplish, but until I actually get some alignment on how to achieve it, it'll just be a dream. Ask me how I know. Because for 10 years, 15 years, I was striving, trying to figure it out. I was trying to figure out, why are all these other people who can't speak for nothing getting booked, traveling, making millions of dollars? He didn't even say nothing good. Like, who is this person? Over here traveling the globe and looking important, and I'm over here, I got a preacher in me. I'm just being honest, like I was frustrated because I didn't know how to develop the skill set and find the right tool set. So the whole thing about turning your purpose into profit, what is it that you're absolutely passionate about? What is the emotional connection, and why do you want to help somebody else? Many of you have heard me say this before, but who are you called to? The people that you are called to and your ideal audience is who you were last year, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. It's the person that when you look at them and you can say, I've been there. I've walked those shoes. I understand what you're going through. Sis, bro, I've been there. I was just dealing with this. You know, it's amazing how much you can actually see in somebody else and recognize an opportunity to care for their soul when you have found your purpose. It gives so much more meaning, alignment, confirmation, and there's something that just really speaks to you that I see myself in you, or I see a potential in you, I see a gifting in you, and I want to invest into it. I want to help, I want to serve, I want to give, I want to create platforms, I want to help you accomplish and achieve, discover and become the greatest version of yourself. What is success? Success is not achievement, success is not amount of money, it's not position, a title, it's not your degrees, and it's not multiple businesses. Success is becoming and discovering who God originally created you to be. Because from that posture, from that position, from that mindset, whatever it is that you are called to do, created to do, you will position yourself accordingly because you know what he's called you to, you know what he's not called you to. So you're not going to waste time trying to figure out and all these other, well, I'll try this, see if this works, I'll give this a shot, I'll invest some money over here. You know what is really meant for you. That's not in alignment with the vision. That's not for me. Thank you for the opportunity, but this is where I'm called to. Thank you for the privilege to be able to collaborate with you, but I need to focus on this. This is what I am assigned to do. This is what I'm trying to achieve and accomplish, and I gotta stay focused. Because how many people have ever had somebody in your inbox every other week, networking, passing out a card saying, hey, call me, I got an opportunity for you. Are you good at sales? Oh, you do so good in this industry. You do so good in this thing. And what they're trying to do is not provide an opportunity just for you, but they recognize that, oh, you got some sales skills. You'd be good to my team. You'd help me get some more money. And you got to be able to know what is meant for you and what's not meant for you. Because if you guys are a part of this network, you know one of the things I preach faithfully and religiously is practice saying no. Practice saying no more often. You got to say no more than you say yes. If you have a gifting and a purpose and a calling, if you have something that you know you are meant for, then you know that there is the right strategic relationships and partnerships that are going to help you get there. Something I've heard, it's hot up here. Something I have heard some pastors, even in this ministry, talk about too, but I'm gonna break it down a little bit. I'll give credit where credit is due. So one of our pastors here at this church had used this illustration, and I thought it was phenomenal. But he said, there's going to be people in and out of your life, and they're going to be temporary. There's some that are going to be long-term. There's some that are going to come just when you need them. Anybody know what I'm talking about? When somebody shows up right on time, oh, man, this friendship was exactly what I needed. Help pull me through my hard, dark places. And then there's going to be some where it's like, man, you said you was all in. What do you mean you quitting? You said you were... You said this was it, that you were home. What do you mean you got to go do your own thing? And so there's going to be people in and out. But one of the examples that he had said was he said some people are going to be like scaffolding, that you can build height with them, but when it comes time for the height to be completed, you have to break down the scaffolding and remove it. It's only temporary. There's foundation layers, there's plumbers, there's electricians, there's those that start framing and start putting up walls. They start building, putting up windows. They start putting up doorways. I was actually sharing with the group this morning on a Zoom call about the different relationships. And so there's going to be so many different people that are ideal for that time or for that season or for that project that you're building. But you got to be able to recognize who fits where according to your vision so that you can know you're a good fit over here. You really belong over here because you're not that good at talking with people. You got an attitude, but you got some good administration skills. You got some, you don't take no for an answer. You get stuff done. Yeah. So you go over here. And then you put the person with the big old smile and the good personality and everything, you put them out front. You put them as the doorkeeper, and that's how you build. But there's going to be some folks that are going to be short-term, long-term, temporary. There's going to be some that are ideal for laying foundation, that they have principles, they have strategies, they got ideas, they got experience, and you need them on your team in order to lay a healthy, solid foundation, processes, procedures, all these other things, systems, all these things to implement and put in place in order to lay a solid foundation. Because has anybody ever built something so fast that when stuff changed, it didn't last through the changes? No foundation. It's easy to build up. It's easy to scale up when you got a hot product that's trending. You got a service that's just everybody needs it at the moment. But then there's also going to be some times where you got to be patient, where nobody sees you, where you're surveying the land, you're leveling the dirt, you're pouring the concrete, you're laying the plumbing, you're laying the electrical before you can actually start building height. Because when the storm comes, when the shaking comes, when the changes come, what happens to the structure if there's no foundation? It's not sustained. And how do we do that? We have to know what is our purpose, what is our vision that this purpose is going to align with, and who is going to fit in that alignment. I like what you're about, but now's not the exact time. I like what you got going on, but we're not at that place just yet. And so there's a lot of times we will throw money at something, and it's just a little too soon. We might bring all these people on board and we might raise all these teams, but then you're stretched too thin and you're not able to give your quality time to key people on the team because we didn't establish leadership and culture and community and departments first. Instead, we were just sign them up, sign them up, sign them up. Get this person, recruit this person. This is how you pitch. More parties, more invites, more closings. And instead of actually a foundation of leadership and structure and vision and strategy and knowing what we are not, we grew height or depth too fast. And then that same person that jumped at my opportunity that I threw at him is going to jump at the next opportunity when somebody sees the company that I was a part of and changes up the comp plan to pay a little bit more. Anybody know what I'm talking about? And it's not that they weren't meant to connect with us. It's that maybe it was just a little too soon and I needed a little more structure. How do I implement structure that will last? How do I get the right systems, the right mindset, skill set, and tool set? I got to know my purpose. What am I passionate about? What is my story, my journey? What's that emotional connection? What is it that I'm really called to? So that I know who I'm called to, and I know what I am called for, what I am purposed for, so that I can provide the right value to the right audience in the right market with the right niche and the right specialty to where I'm not competing about anybody. Because what's meant for you can't go to somebody else. If it's got your name on it, if there is a leader in you growing and developing and learning, don't be afraid to be hidden for a few years. Don't rush into this is the biggest one. Don't rush into something too soon when you're building a business, when you're building a team, when you're building a community. Sit under somebody who's got some understanding on building a community and learn everything that you can. Serve as much as you can and tell them, I want to learn, I want to grow, I'll serve, I'll volunteer, I'll help. Your training will be my payroll, but I know that what you have is what I need. Where you're going is where I want to go. What you have is what I want. What you're doing is what I want to do. And the people that are following you, the way that they're following you, and the way that they want to connect with you and serve is what I want as well. Teach me the way. And I'm telling you, you will be able to attract more than you could ever chase. Your job is not to chase opportunity. It's not to chase money. It's not to chase people. Anybody ever get tired of chasing people? Babysitting them, calling them over and over. Hey, where you at? You coming? We're starting the meeting. Oh, I got held up, boss. I'm running late. I got some other things going on. I'll be right there, whatever. 30 minutes. I thought you said you was on your way. See, what had happened was... if they know that they're supposed to be there because you're the right leader for them, they're going to be like, hey, can I get there early and help set up? Can I get there and volunteer? Is there anything else that you need? Hey, boss man, I know we got an event coming up. Is there anything else, other details that I can assist with? Do you need some more people to help in this area? I'd be happy to run this department and recruit some folks because I want to be a part of this purpose. I want to be a part of this vision because this is what I need. This is what I feel I'm called to. And it's going to be the right equipping for what my assignment is. There's so many years that we could spend trying to figure it out by trying all these different things. Now, please, by all means, I am not saying any of this to discourage you, that saying what you're doing is the wrong thing. That's not it. But the idea and the goal and the purpose of the point is finding your purpose so that whatever you are building flows from your purpose and you're not chasing it. You're not trying to force it. You're not trying to convince people. My brother Nate says this all the time. People don't buy your product or your service. They buy you. Because people are drawn to your leadership. They're drawn to the culture. They're drawn to the structure. They're drawn to how you care for their soul. They're drawn to the opportunity that they see to grow and to develop. They're not even necessarily drawn to the money. They're drawn a lot of times to, they want something that they see in somebody else that may be a void. Man, like I need something. This might be it. And so they're not even necessarily drawn to the money. Money doesn't convince me of anything. Money doesn't get me excited. Money does not change my mind. Why? Because after you have had some money, and after you haven't had some money, you found out that you can be happy both ways. You found out that you can be upset both ways. You found out that you could be lonely both ways. You found out that you could be at peace both ways. Because it's really not about the money. But the truth is that because it's about the purpose and the principle and the vision and the community, I get to attract and enjoy the money. I ain't got to chase it. If I can just be honest and transparent and just share something with y'all, I got a text message yesterday from somebody that says, I want to invest $25,000 in your business. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, I said yes. I said, who are your friends? I said, what else you got? Oh, you best believe I said yes. I already wrote up the contract and sent it over. Matter of fact, I got to check my emails to see if they sent the DocuSign back. I sent the wiring notarized. Yeah, I sent the wiring instructions and everything. Because it's about vision. It's about purpose. It's about community. I'm all about get as much as you can. Win all day as much as you can from your purpose. Your gifting, your purpose, your identity. What did God create you for? How to turn your purpose into profit. Do you know that, say for an example, I'll give you an example. There was one lady who, she was actually from the Bahamas. There's a story of her of how she was very, very good at baking cookies. I don't know if we check the chat here real quick just in case anybody. Were we able to fix the audio? Awesome. Y'all give it up for our media team up there doing an awesome job. They're here every Saturday and Sunday running the service. So if y'all want to come visit and hanging out for service too, y'all welcome. Saturday 6:30, Sunday at 10 a.m. So just saying, shameless plug. So there was a lady in the Bahamas. She baked cookies. And she was amazing at it. She baked them for her church. She baked them for family, friends. Everybody always called her whenever it came to family dinners and stuff. Hey, can you bring, a couple dozen cookies, stuff like that? We're having a bake sale. Can you donate some cookies? All the above. And so there came a time where she was really struggling. Her family was really struggling. That she ran out of money. I think she was actually, she was actually older up in age, and then her kids were getting ready to go to college, and they were about to, foreclose on her house, and she was just really hurting for money. She goes to her pastor and she says, Pastor, I need help and I don't know what to do. She says, what do you enjoy doing? Pastor says, what do you like to do? What is it that you're good at? She says, I don't really have anything, but I can make cookies. All I know how to do is bake cookies my whole entire life. And then he says, what are you doing with those cookies then? Why aren't you baking more cookies? Well, all I have is just an oven at home. I don't have a kitchen. I don't have a shop. I don't have all this other. I don't have a commercial kitchen or whatever. He says, start with what you have. Start with what you enjoy doing. Start with what you love. He says, trust me on this. This will help. This will change things. So she goes home. She gets her favorite recipes, and they were her recipes. They've been in the family for a long time. She starts baking cookies, makes all these dozens, and then she says, Pastor, okay, I did what you told me to do. I made the cookies, packaged them up, put them in some nice, pretty packaging, and ready to go. She says, okay, now go up to different offices and places or whatever and start selling dozens of cookies. Pastor, are you sure? Anybody's going, they're just cookies. They can go to the store and get them themselves. Says, get to those locations and sell those cookies. Okay. She's scared. She's walking in and she's like, hey guys, selling cookies or whatever, got, however much for a dozen, and, trying to raise some money and everything. Immediately sold out. First time. And then she goes to the pastor and then she's like, Pastor, it worked. I told you. Now go home. Take that money, go buy some more stuff, go buy some more supplies, go buy some more ingredients, and start baking. Get your kids involved. Start working, start building, and get back out there and sell some more. So she gets to work. She starts working. She starts baking, gets the kids involved, gets more ingredients, starts marketing, starts making flyers, starts posting everywhere, starts posting all over the neighborhood. The kids start going door to door selling cookies, just cookies. Now, how many know that there is a ton of people out there that are already making cookies? They have whole shelves stocked full of cookies. They're in every coffee shop. They're in every bakery. So it's a heavily saturated market. But she had a special recipe. And she took what she was good at and what she was passionate about, and she created a business in her home, started with what she had, and she started selling door to door, something that she just loved to make. And so she goes to her pastor. She says, I got so many orders. I got so much work going on. I cannot fit it anymore. And so I have to go and buy myself a commercial oven that's bigger. I got to invest in a location. I got to invest in a bakery. And her business grew. In the first year, she brought in $700,000 from cookies. And then she goes to her pastor. She packages up a nice package of a few dozen cookies of his favorite kind, and she takes it to them. She says, Pastor, I just want to say thank you because you saw something in me that I didn't know was really there. It was my purpose. It was my gifting, and you spoke to that gift in me. And if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have made it this far. My house would have been gone. My kids would have been hungry. Who knows? We probably would have been on the streets. And so she goes to him and she drops a little gift in there. He opens it up, and there was $10,000 cash in American money and a few dozen cookies and a note that said, thank you for saving my family. So it's not that what you have isn't going to be high in demand or that it won't work or that people won't receive from you. When God gives you a gift, He creates an audience and a market and a demand for every bit of it. He can't forget about you. What is your purpose and what is the emotional connection to how you want to help other people? What is it that you're called to? What is it that you have thought about, dreamed about, that you've desired, that you really wanted to accomplish, become, achieve? And what is it that maybe scares you to talk about it? It's so big, the ideas are so big, you probably could never even figure out how to pay for it on your own. You ain't got to worry about that part. You want to know what attracts money? A good plan, a good idea. If you got a plan, the funds will show up. How many know what I'm talking about? How many investors are lining up to put money towards a good idea? How many people are, you know what I'm talking about too, you're living it now. How many people are waiting for the next opportunity to grow their money without them having to get all involved, without them having to know everything about it, without having to go and learn a new trade or skill or start a business from scratch, but they see something in you that you're good at and they said, that's good enough for me. You got a plan, you got a game plan, you got a strategy, you got a product, you got a service, you got a team, you got a framework, you got a structure, you got all this stuff. Excellent. How much do you need and who do I write the check to? Because that's what it takes. You can be in contracting, you can be in financial services, you can be in real estate, you can be in investing, you can be in sales, you can be in construction, whatever it is, roofing, no matter what it is, you can prosper from your purpose. And even if you are working for somebody else, even if you are working for corporate world, even if you still have a 9-to-5 somewhere else and you go and work on your dream after you get out of work, if you're working for somebody else, give it your absolute best and use what you have to bring value to that job and watch doors open up for you in higher places. And don't worry about what you contribute to the company and the bosses not recognizing the potential or the gift or the value that you bring to the table. Because once you sow the seed, once you make the investment, truth is that your harvest is too great and too large to really grow where you're at anyways. It has to come from higher up. It has to come from larger areas. It has to come from somebody with more money and resources. You don't have to worry about if what you are giving or contributing is going to work if you know God gave it to you. If you know that there is wealth with your name on it, it doesn't matter who else is doing it, how many other people are doing it. If He called you for it, if He created you for it, He's going to create a market, an audience, a need, a demand, and a desire for what you are bringing to the table. Are you ready to turn your purpose into profit? Yes. How many here that just maybe 6 months ago, maybe a year ago to 6 months, right in there, you were definitely not in the place you are in now? That you can look back over the last 12 months and you can see the change and the transformation. You're just getting started. How much more when you continue to zero in on what you are really gifted to do? How would you like to be able to walk into a room and command change? Command transformation in the room, not demand. You don't ever have to demand attention. You don't ever have to introduce yourself walking into the room. Your gifting, your purpose introduces it for you. Your identity and your confidence, what you carry, what you walk in, announces and it speaks louder. You could be quiet, you can be silent, and people from all around the room could be noticing, that person there's something about that person. I need to go talk to them. Or you can walk up to somebody, you can be a millionaire and walk up to somebody who's just getting started in the business, and you can make them feel like such royalty. Hey, how you doing? How you enjoying the event tonight? Hey, what's going on? Where are you from? Are you from San Antonio? Awesome. How'd you hear about the event? What brings you out tonight? Excellent. Awesome. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself? What do you do? What kind of business are you in? What do you like to do? Oh, excellent. Awesome. And make them feel so important that when you build this trust and this connection and rapport with them, that when now you've gathered the information about them, they are now looking at you with respect and they are eager to know, well, what about you? What do you do and everything? Because I've never really had somebody treat me the way that you do at these networking events. Usually they're just trying to sell me something. I love networking. That's why we have tonight going on. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know that a lot of times there will be some folks that will run through 20 different cards and not even give out 20, 30 different cards, and they'll never even get your name. They'll never even ask a question about you. Let's change the game of serving and building community, of adding value, of helping others, of blessing others, of caring for others. Let's change the game in business and in the marketplace. Let's change the game of what leadership looks like in the business world. Because I guarantee you that there's a whole lot more in your team that would come out if we would just focus on growing and developing them and helping them see their purpose and their potential and their giftings. And some stuff will be unlocked to where they will impress you and they will do stuff for you, for marketing, for recruiting, for serving, for helping, for adding value. You won't even have to ask. They'll blow you away with their ideas. Now, wouldn't you like to see your business grow from your team's efforts? You ain't got to babysit. You ain't got to chase. You ain't got to try to convince. You ain't got to be checking up on them every 20 minutes. Hey, you going to help with this? Did you take care of this? Got it all done, boss. What else can I help with? Well, I had an idea over here, boss, and I wanted to add this. I wanted to do this. Tell me what you think. You're not meant to do everything on your own. When you're operating and living in your purpose to serve other people and add value to them, it's amazing how they are unlocked and they start contributing and adding value to what you are building and to what you're doing. Because truth is, if you are the foreman or the overseer of the project and the development, you're not supposed to be doing plumbing, foundation, electrical. You're supposed to be creating the blueprints. You're supposed to be writing up the vision. You're not supposed to be doing all the work by yourself. So stop trying to grow your business and your team and your community all by yourself. Take what you've learned and care for other people's soul and help unlock the purpose and the gifting in them and help them achieve greatness and help them find their skills and abilities and help sharpen them and watch your community grow. And you are watching what God has gifted you come to reality, come to fruition. The vision and the dream that He gave you years ago, what you saw years ago. Pull those dreams out, dust them off, and start pursuing them once again. Did we get anything tonight, fam? Yes. Awesome. So how many can say, that I truly know what my purpose is? Don't be shy. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Anybody else? You say, I know what my purpose is. Or you can say, I know what I like to do. I know what I enjoy doing. I know there's some things I want to do. I have some goals set for before the year is over for next year. Okay? You have a plan or a business that you want to start. Okay? Awesome. Cool. Now, when it comes to getting something launched, operating or growing in your purpose, then you know what to invest, but don't do it by yourself. Okay? So I want to encourage you guys. Can we put